chimps are currently in the radiology section. What they're busy doing, they're doing x-rays of the chests of the chimps. And the reason we do that, we use these opportunistic moments to do the health checks on them. And at the moment they're checking for TB, because that's chimps do get TB. It's one of those zoonotic diseases that transfer from people to animals and vice versa.
The screen, and there's his chest X-ray. So this is the left side here, and this is the right side. It shouldn't be there. And everything looks good and clean.
So, what is the doctor?
Is he on his side?
Well, we finished with the medical test on the chimps. We've moved them down to their night quarters, and Moti, who was done first, he's actually awake up and around in his enclosure, and Absalom has just been moved in now, so he's still a bit groggy. We didn't do x-rays on him because he was so filled with adrenaline about the move, seeing his partner go out, so we were a bit concerned that he might actually wake up in the move here. So he's also in his enclosure, and yeah, soon they'll get to meet each other. They've had contact with each other only through sounds. They could hear each other, but they haven't actually seen each other. So now this is where the whole reintroduction phase happens now. We've got to get them used to each other. First of all, they must get used to the enclosure here at the zoo. We've got to be able to get them back into their night quarters. So that's our first thing we've got to do, is train them to go in and out of the night quarters into the display area. And as soon as that starts happening, they'll also start seeing each other now, and then we'll slowly bring them closer and closer to each other until they've got just a barricade between the two. And if the behavior is so that they start, touching each other, grooming without showing any signs of aggression, and that will actually then allow them into the enclosure at the zoo. So we reckon that could take anything from a month up to 6 weeks. Again, it depends on the chimpanzees and their behavior towards each other. But so that the public can still see them, we've put up CCTV cameras over here. So we've got display, so if both of them are inside the night quarters, or if there's only one on display, they can still see the other one through the television screens that have been erected. Everything went very well, from them arriving in the country, going through the quarantine phase, having it lifted, Moti doing a bit of a walkabout in the area, bringing him back into the quarters, and now finally doing the health checks and moving them into their permanent home. Everything has gone well, so now the big challenge for us is just getting the two to know each other, and then having them on permanent display for visitors to the zoo. Of course, the process is not over. We'll then continue negotiating with other zoos for additional chimpanzee to bring back here to our zoo, and then who knows, down the future there might be a breeding program, but that's just speculation at the moment. But we will definitely try and get some more chimpanzees to get a sustainable population going.